All right, let's jump right in. Today, we're looking at a blueprint for the future of industry, one that's cleaner, smarter, and way more efficient. We're going to unpack how we can power our world, but do it sustainably. Just take a look at this. The amount of energy industry uses is just massive. It's the engine that runs our modern world, right? But for decades, running that engine has come with a pretty steep environmental cost. So the real question is, does it have to?
The solution isn't some single magic bullet. It's much more of a powerful two-sided strategy. It's about changing not just where our energy comes from, but also how smart we are about how we use it.
And that really gets to the heart of the matter, what we're calling industry's energy dilemma. How do we keep the whole machine running and growing, but without harming the planet in the process? What you're looking at here is a real crossroads. On one side, you've got the legacy of fossil fuels, powerful, but polluting. And on the other, you see a vision of clean, renewable power, totally integrated into the landscape. This is the choice we're facing. Okay, so let's dig into the first half of this blueprint, making that big switch over to clean energy sources. This is all about changing the fuel itself. And the benefits here are just huge. I mean, they touch everything from the environment to the economy. Obviously, it starts with cutting greenhouse gas emissions and slashing air pollution. That's fundamental. But because renewables are, well, renewable, they're basically inexhaustible. That boosts our energy security, meaning we're not so dependent on resources that can run out. And on top of all that, this whole transition is a massive engine for economic growth. We're talking new jobs, new innovation. It's really a win-win. I love this question. It completely shifts your perspective, doesn't it? Generating clean power is absolutely essential, no doubt. But what if we could get everything done without needing as much power in the first place? And that leads us straight to the second and just as vital part of the solution, smart consumption, or as it's better known, energy efficiency. Let's be super clear about what this means. Energy efficiency is not about cutting back or producing less. The key idea here is that it's all about eliminating waste. It's about getting the absolute most out of every single watt of power you use. And just like with renewables, the payoffs are immense. For any business, this is a no-brainer. It means lower operational costs, which directly helps the bottom line. It shrinks your environmental footprint. It can actually boost productivity, and it makes you way more competitive. It's a huge advantage. Okay, so we get why efficiency is so important, but how do you actually do it, on the factory floor? Let's get practical and open up the playbook. So the source material lays out 5 really concrete strategies. First up, upgrading old clunky equipment. Think swapping old motors for new high-efficiency ones. Second, you optimize how those motors run so they're not working harder than they need to. Third and fourth are big ones, improving your lighting and enhancing your heating and cooling systems. And finally, you tie it all together with an energy management system and EMS. You can think of it like a smart brain for your entire operation, using sensors and software to track and control energy use in real time. Let's put some real numbers to this. 75%. That is the kind of energy saving you can see just from upgrading your lighting to modern LEDs. It's one of the fastest, most effective things you can do. A huge win. And this is a perfect example of optimizing those motors. See, a lot of industrial motors just run at full blast all the time, even when they don't have to. But if you add what are called variable speed drives, which match the motor's speed to the actual job it's doing, you can cut energy waste by up to 60%. That's just incredible. And even just a straightforward swap, getting rid of an old motor for a new, high-efficiency model can cut that motor's energy use by a solid 15 to 30%. Imagine that, multiplied across an entire facility. It all adds up fast. So let's pull this all back together. The future for sustainable industry isn't an either-or kind of thing. It's not choosing renewables or efficiency. It's about doing both, together, working in perfect harmony. There's a quote in the source material that I think just nails the right mindset. It says, efficiency isn't a one-time project. It's a journey. It's not about flipping a switch and saying, we're done. It's about building a culture of always looking for ways to be smarter and to waste less. So, where does that journey take you? Well, it leads to a place where businesses are more profitable because their costs are down. It leads to a world where industry has a much lighter footprint on the planet, and it leads to operations that are just more resilient and secure for whatever comes next. So, as we wrap up, the final question really isn't just for big industry, it's for all of us. Whether you're talking about a massive factory, an office building, or even your own home, every journey towards a smarter energy future has to start with a first step. The only question left is, where will you begin?